Hello everybody out there, your Dark Avenger Chris here, and welcome to the 400th Dark Avenger Comic Book Review episode celebration weekend. We have so much planned out for this weekend. We are going to have a blast, and hopefully you guys will be having a blast along with us all weekend long. And it's starting right here, right now with this video. I'm going to call this the Prologue video. This will be the first ever Prologue I've ever done for 100th. We've done epilogues. 200 and 300 both had epilogues at the end of the 100th review episode celebration. 100 I did a post Avenger log on that one. And then when we moved to 350, I think I made a little bit of an announcement video. But anyway, speaking of announcement, as this video is going live right here on this channel, over on Comic Frontline, I have the 400th announcement video going live where I'll be talking about stuff that's going to be going on over there on Frontline. I'll touch on it here as well, but I decided let's kick this off. Let's talk about a few things, and then we'll get into the fun, and I'll give you guys little I'm not going to tell you what we're going to be doing, but I'm going to tease it. I'm going to let you guys know what to expect this weekend and what to expect coming up. And then instead of doing an epilogue, the epilogue will be the Dark Avenger podcast, episode 8, which 8 or 9, I don't know, whatever episode I'm up to, it'll be that episode's number, because I never did one before the 400th review, so I'm going to do one after it, or I'll post it at least after the 400th review. So anyway, 400 episodes, 400 weeks worth of comic books, because essentially every episode is for a week. So we've been doing this essentially for 400 weeks, 8-ish years, because there's 52 weeks in a year, and I believe we had one leap year, so that was 53. So there were extra days here and there, extra Wednesdays here and there, but essentially 52 weeks in a year, every 2 years was 100, and man, it's been a crazy ride. We've been through so much. It's amazing to think it's been 8 years already, and that was a huge thing that I was thinking about, because I'm like, it took 8 years to get to 400, but man, it was worth it. And that's why every 100th for me is a milestone. Why every 100th I will celebrate, because every 100th episode is another step up. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. We don't know how far we're gonna go in life, and I don't know how far the Dark Avenger review will keep going. We don't know. Maybe it'll end at 450, 500, 1,000, 600. Maybe Tommy will take it over and it'll just keep going forever. And then maybe his son will take it over. And the numbers, it'll get into the 1,000. Who knows? I mean, they have a 99 already on one of the teams, one of the baseball teams. We're going to be getting Futurama numbers soon, halves and hundreds. But anyway, I'm going way off topic there. But anyway, we're here. It's 400. We're not living to the goal of 1,000 anymore. We are living in the moment. So every 100 is even more special now, because it's not like 400 getting to 1,000. This is 400, period. And there have been so many changes and so many things that have happened throughout every 100. Every 100 I would do an announcement video. Every 100 things would kind of change up. And really, when it went from 100 to from 100 going towards 200, there really wasn't that much of a major change. Mike joined the cast, of course, but really we didn't change the formula. We kept the review the same. 200 to 300, things started changing, and then 300 was there was a drastic change. And I wanted to do this video also because the big thing that we were doing for 300 was we're going to announce things. And I've talked about this. I've made a video series, The Road Back to Dark Avenger C86 or Dark Avenger Reborn. You can go check that playlist out. We won't relive that whole thing here. I want to try to make this video as short as possible. But this channel has gone through so many changes, so many things, from 100 to 200, like I said, things stayed the same. 200 to 300, we tried to change things up a little bit. 300 to 350, there were fundamental changes. Announcements for series that never even happened were made. 350 ended up being the last episode live or new episode on this channel. before Dark Avenger, the comic book review, and the haul, and Dark Avenger Live, the last 3 main shows on this channel moved over to Comic Frontline. And now here we are at 400. So I want to just make mention of things I mentioned over on Frontline first, so it'll kind of make sense going forward with what we're doing here. The 3 shows that moved over to Frontline, we will be changing up 2 of the 3 shows and moving them back here to Dark Avenger C86, and 1 show will be staying on Comic Frontline. The show that's staying on Comic Frontline is Dark Avenger Live. Dark Avenger Live works amazing over on Comic Frontline. It's a staple. It's one of the staple 3 live shows each and every week that we have on Comic Frontline. Everybody enjoys it. Moving that live show back and forth and back and forth. That was the beginning of Dark Avenger Live, I feel. Frontline Live anyway. I feel that show belongs on Comic Frontline. It's great. The 2 things that are moving back here are the haul videos, but the haul videos are going to be more sporadic. They're not going to be like definitely every single week. There might be 2 months where I'll do 8 hauls back to back to back, and then I'll skip an episode here or there. We're going to continue the numbering from where I left off on this channel, not on Comic Frontline. We're going to start off right where whatever number we did here, if we did numbers. I don't know if we did numbers or dates. If we didn't do numbers, we'll start it with number 1, but we're going to do it again here. And what we're going to do is, they're going to be sporadic. And it doesn't have to be just new comics. If we get a bunch of stuff in the mail, it's a haul video. So there potentially could be more than 1 haul video a week if it so happens that happens, which will probably be very rare. But again, it's not 100% going to happen each and every week. It really depends on time. And one of the reasons why I'm moving the haul back here is because I've missed the haul video on Frontline many times already due to books coming out just as we're ready to do the review or what have you. So the haul video will be moving back here as of 400 just because it's going to be sporadic. It's going to be whenever we have the ability or chance to do a haul video. Comics, games, stuff, you name it. The Dark Avenger Comic Book Review Show, the spotlight of this entire celebration weekend, will be moving back to its home, this channel right here, Dark Avenger C86, starting with episode 401. However, we will be changing the show up, not the title, not the number, but the way we do the review show. If you want like a really in-depth reason or reasoning why, you could check out the announcement video over on Comic Frontline. Or stick around here, and I'll go more in depth on the Dark Avenger podcast, because there is a bit of a deep reason why. You know, long story short, the reviews were very hefty. As you guys know, we read a lot of books, and I've been dropping this hint for a while now that it's a lot of work getting all those books read, having it all in our head, names, things that have happened, etc., from Marvel, DC, and the independents. It's a lot, and we've messed up names, we've messed up certain things that happened, we forgot to mention certain things, and we were starting to beat ourselves up, Mike and I, over it. So what the review is going to turn into is a discussion. We're going to talk about the books that we've read, and we might not have read all of our books yet by that point. We will be doing it on Monday still, but the good news is if we don't discuss a book on the Dark Avenger Comic Book Review Show, there's still potentially Frontline Live, any podcast that we do, and Dark Avenger Live, where we can talk about the books that we didn't necessarily have a chance to talk to on the Dark Avenger Comic Book Review Show. I guess a piece of me wants to, originally, the original thought was I was going to end the show. I was going to close it down. It was becoming a lot of work. It started to feel like a chore, and it was just a lot. It was like the heaviest thing, and it really did prevent me from doing certain other videos I wanted to do because it was such a, what's the word I'm looking for? It required a lot of work. It is one of the biggest projects or biggest shows I put on, or me and Mike put on every single week. So it was a lot. So we decided to lighten the load, keep the show going in a way. Because I don't want to, I'm sure you guys, as much as I don't want to see it go. I mean, we're going to try it this way, see if it works out. If it doesn't, we'll go from there. You know what? We'll try it out. We'll see how it goes. As long as it's not super stressful for us and you guys enjoy the show still. And that's one of the major things. I want you guys to hear this too. I want you guys to definitely feel free to participate in these live shows every Monday. If we can't do it as a live show, the video will be posted on Monday night. We would love for you guys, if we're live especially, to come on, talk about the comics that we talk about. Feel free to mention comics. If we read a comic you did and we're talking about it, we want to hear your thoughts too and have a discussion. Because honestly, we're not going to be doing them as in-depth as we've been doing for the past 400. Yes, we'll do it for 400, obviously, but we're not going to be going as in-depth anymore with 401 on. It's going to be more of a... again, it's not changing the quality of the show. It's not changing the quantity of the books, and it's not changing the time on the show. It's all about how we're going to be doing the books. And hopefully you guys will enjoy it. It's our way of trying something new before completely ending the show. If this was 2 weeks ago, I honestly was going to be... It was going to be 400's the last episode, and then I was going to figure something out to do here. We'll still be doing our solo reviews on Frontline. We'll still be doing our top 5s on Frontline Live. We'll still be talking about comics on Dark Avenger Live. And then we'll have this discussion. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I've watched several comic review shows now, and half of those shows don't review half of the amount of books Michael and I review. But the reviewers read a lot more than they review. So I figure let's try that out. Let's try lightening the load and relaxing a bit more when it comes to the review. See what happens. So that's that. So 300. I want to go back in time a bit. 300's big celebration weekend was all about announcements. Announcements for new things, new series, new everything. We're going to make this an everything channel, and we're going to have tons of new things. And I will admit, some of those things work great on Frontline. Some of those announcements, those series made it to Frontline, and they're doing a great job over there, and I wouldn't have it any other way. However, a lot of those series didn't happen. And you know what? For this 100th review celebration week, we're not going to be talking about new things coming. We're not going to be announcing anything. This 100th review celebration weekend is going to be all about what we've been doing. Nothing new, no announcements for new series, no announcements for anything. This is just going to be what we've been since day one. We're going to have reviews. We're going to have everything, anything that we've ever touched on, anything that I've ever touched on. There's going to be a little bit of everything for you guys here all weekend long. There are going to be comics. There are going to be games. There are going to be cards, collectibles, you name it. We are going to do what we do best, and that is the stuff that we've been doing since day one. So there is going to be no announcements whatsoever. No new series for Dark Avenger C86. No new series for Comic Frontline. This is just about you guys and about what we do best on this channel. It's going to be a normal celebration where we do what we do best. And that's the whole theme of 400, is just the way it's been since day one. We're going to be doing what we do best. And nothing more, nothing new, nothing less. Not saying there won't be certain new things that you'll be noticing after 400. There is an idea for one series I have in mind, but I've had it in mind for a while. I haven't been able to really execute it yet. Maybe now with 400 over and the whole what we're doing for 400 is now out of my mind. I might have more time to think about what we're going to be doing. But at the same time, when I can execute it is when you guys will see it. No announcements for anything new whatsoever. But yeah, this whole celebration is about the norm. About what you guys like, about what we like doing. And yeah, and it's been a crazy ride. I mean, my first book, Celestial Falcon, was released. So hopefully you guys got your hands on a copy of it. If not, it is still available on Etsy.com. But it's amazing. 8 years ago, I started this this thing where I would review books on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. I would grab a bunch of books that came out for, you name the week, and I would discuss them. and the discussions moved into reviews. The reviews moved into in-depth reviews on the books that we've read. We went from reading just DC and Marvel to DC, Marvel, IDW, Image, Dynamite, Dark Horse, Zenoscope, Bongo, because that's where Futurama comes from. You got, Udon, where Street Fighter's from. Tons and tons and tons of different companies just started adding onto that list. So here we are 8 years later, and we are reading DC, Marvel, and every single company I just mentioned. Valiant as well. The list can go on forever. And our pile went from, and I remember the first review. The first review's pile was only about that big. Now, the piles are like that half the time. Unfortunately, for the 400th Comic Review Celebration Week, the pile, although it's kind of ironic, is about, this was for the first episode. This week's pile is about that. So it's maybe double what I did for the first episode, and I guess it's a light week. It's a very light week this week for comics, but you know what? That's fine because we got a lot of other things we're going to be covering. But it's amazing going from just talking about a handful of comics to talking about so many comics to creating in my wildest dreams, I never thought I would be holding in my hand right now my comic, my characters that I created. I never thought I'd be holding a Celestial Falcon comic in my hand. Ever. I mean, if you would have told me 8 years ago, hey, you're starting these reviews, one day you're going to be doing triple the amount of books you're reading now, and you're going to create your own book. The book you never thought you'd create is going to be a comic book. I'd be like, man, I don't know what you're drinking, but give me some of it. But no, here we are. In 2017, my book and a ton of other books met so many amazing people, from the people I met on Ink to Frontline. Ink and Frontline are the same. I don't know why I was going to go from Ink to Frontline, but on Ink Frontline, people we've interviewed, writers, artists, people we've met in conventions. On conventions, we met Dan through New York Comic Con. So many amazing people, and then commenters and people who found our show, found this channel, found Frontline, came over to all of our individual channels. It's been a crazy 8-year journey, and this milestone means the most, because this milestone, like I was saying, and I'm going to repeat it again because I can, because this is my prologue. This milestone's not about new announcements, new things. It's not about it's not about changing the channel. It's not about adding to the channel. It's not about taking away from the channel. Maybe a little bit of adding, because I'm bringing back 2 of the main shows. But still, this is about what the channel's been about since day one. There's nothing but awesome videos that we're planning all weekend long. No announcements. Not a one. Just what we do best for 3 days. I didn't mention this, but we will be starting today with this video, and you're seeing this on Saturday morning. Tomorrow, Sunday, we continue along. Now, we started doing our reviews on Monday. We used to do them on the weekend, so Sunday was the last day. And we might, since we're doing the show as a discussion show now, we might move back to Sunday. Don't quote me yet. We'll talk about it on the review show. If Mike and I decide, hey, we can do this on Sunday, we'll do the show on Sunday again. For now, though, we do it on Monday. So the weekend celebration is translating over to Monday. So there will be videos starting today all the way through till Monday night, up until the 400th Dark Avenger Comic Book Review episode. And then after that, I will be posting up the Dark Avenger podcast. And once that's up, that will be the end of the celebration, and then we'll see if we make it to 500 in 2 years in 2019, which it will be 2019, and I believe it'll be in June, because I believe every 2 years it goes up 2 weeks, I believe. I'm not sure how it works, but I know when we started this, it was the end of July. Now we're at the beginning of July. I don't know how it works. Count 100 weeks from now, and then anybody in the comments who wants to tell me exactly when, you're more than welcome to. But I'm looking forward to present day. I'm hoping we make it to 500. 500 would be an awesome, awesome number to make it to. Honestly, if I was to have a goal right now, that would be the goal for the review show, is to make it to the next 100. So 500 potentially is the new goal. 1,000, when we get to 500, basically, you take those 10 years, because it'll be 10 years that we get to 500, and you got to factor in another 10 years. Will that happen? I don't know. But you never know. I mean, 12 years from now, technically, I mean, could happen. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But that's not then. We're not talking about then. We're talking about now. Now. And we've got a lot of stuff coming your guys' way. There will be stuff coming to the house all weekend long that we'll be reviewing or talking about or showing off or doing stuff with. It's going to be fun. Hopefully we'll have some guests on. Also, I made mention of this on Twitter, and there was a reason, because this is part of the celebration weekend as well. Twitch. I will be starting up my Twitch account where I will be streaming playthroughs, not walkthroughs. Right now, I'm in the testing stage. I put out a vote to see what game you guys wanted to see me play first on my Twitch. Which game you wanted to be my first game on Twitch. And the winner of that poll, it was Friday the 13th, The Crew, Dirt 4, and Deadpool. I put in Deadpool because it's a comic game. The winner was Friday the 13th, and we will go live at some point this weekend. Keep an eye on Twitter. Sometime, some night this weekend, we will be going live. I will be going live on Twitch, and I will be streaming Friday the 13th, and that will be my first stream on Twitch. And then what I'm going to be doing with my Twitch is I'm going to be live streaming my videos on Twitch, but then I'm going to be downloading them. And if it's a playthrough, I'm going to be cutting the video up into parts and posting them on Frontline Gaming Zone. So if you don't like sitting through a 2-hour stream, just subscribe to Frontline Gaming Zone, and you'll be getting maybe 10 to 15 minute episodes of that 2-hour stream, either daily or every other day, however we decide to upload them. But we're going to be doing it that way. I think that's how I'm going to be working my playthroughs, at least from now on. Stream it on Twitch, where people know that you're going to be streaming for more than just 15 minutes, and then translate it over to YouTube, where people like more shorter videos than 2- and 3-hour videos. That's my mindset, and that's, of course, when it comes to gaming, that's all when I have the time. We'll see if playthrough-wise, I'll have the time to do... I have more time to do playthroughs than doing straight-up walkthroughs. Ugh. This is why I gave up on Frontline Gaming Zone. Walkthroughs are not for me. Not at all. So playthroughs, on the other hand, are. And yeah, so we'll be doing a little bit of everything all weekend long. Enjoy, because we're going to have a lot of... Hopefully you guys will have as much fun as we are. And honestly, there are some things I'm not even sure if we're going to have things that I wasn't expecting happen during this weekend. But it's going to be a fun ride. I hope you guys are ready, because we're ready. This video will be going up in the morning. Videos might for Saturday. Saturday out of the 3 days. It's true. We're not editing that out. Saturday might be the lighter of the 3 days. But Sunday and Monday, there will definitely be a lot of videos. I'm going to still try to give you guys a lot of videos. Probably they'll be on Saturday night. But we will get you guys videos all Saturday long. But we're going to try to give you as much as we can all weekend long. I already have a plan set out on what videos I want to do. Just got to do them and then upload them. No editing. We're going to be just straight up uploading them. And hopefully you guys will be enjoying them. So I've been wasting too much of your time. This is 24 minutes already. I want to first of all thank all of you so much. The Dark Avenger Comic Book review would not be here if not for you guys. For those of you that have supported it on my channel, this channel right here, for those of you that have supported it on Frontline, hopefully those of you that supported on Frontline will follow the show as it comes back to its home, which is here on Dark Avenger C86. But I want to thank all of you for making the Dark Avenger Comic Book review series one of my favorite series. Yes, it was a lot of work, sometimes too much work, and yes, we are changing it because of that, but we're keeping it going because of you guys. That's at the core, at the heart of it all, the reason why we will not be ending it at 400, and we're going to try a different way because of you guys and because we want it to keep going for you guys. So 401 is because of you. So if anything, thank you guys for being amazing, supportive, wonderful people for us and for supporting the shows, and especially the Dark Avenger Comic Book Review. Thank you all so much. We would not be here. We would not be doing this if not for you guys. Thank you. I can't say it enough. Thank you a million times over. And we hope you enjoy it. And we hope you leave comments on 400. 400 will be up. We're going to be recording it, obviously, on Frontline live Monday night. But we will be uploading it to this channel Monday. And it will go live on Monday morning. So Monday night. Tuesday morning. So Tuesday night. Or Tuesday afternoon will be when the Dark Avenger podcast goes live. So just giving you guys a heads up about that. We will be posting 400 right away. And then the following week we'll be starting right here on this channel again with 401. So hopefully you guys will enjoy the new format. Thank you all so much for being here. Again, if you haven't subscribed, hopefully all of you that have been subscribed to Frontline and not this channel, you'll subscribe. This way you continue with the hauls whenever we do them, the review, the Dark Avenger Comic Book Review in its new format, and anything else that might pop up after the 400th Comic Review Weekend celebration. You never know. I'm not promising anything as far as new series, but you never know. There might be certain videos here, there, and everywhere that pop up. But anyway, thank you guys so much. Enjoy the weekend, and we will see you guys really soon in the next video. Take care, everybody.